It's a big story.
It's a big story.
So I want to specify one thing important. It doesn't depend on the final position. That's the main thing and the surprising thing. I have a clear situation in my mind. The definitive decision is Giuntoli is not the right man for us.
Ciao Juventini of the world, I promised it. Bomba. Luca Momblano is back on the channel because yesterday, speaking 2 hours on Juventus, he explained a situation. We don't have 2 hours, we have a few minutes, but even if it will be an extremely short video, I wanted to hear from him the words about the situation Cristiano Giuntoli, because from last week, 46.4%, we go to a value that goes towards 6.46%. That's a huge, big decrease. Luca, first of all, how are you doing? Secondly, tell me.
Yeah, I'm totally focused on this month. This is a very, very, very important month for Juventus in the tournament, for the Champions League qualification and also for the future. We have to understand so many things, and we know John Elkann and all the property is on the verge of evaluating and take a definitive decision about what's happening and what is going to happen to Juventus since June, May, and the first 2 weeks of June. We understand all the things we have to understand, and I'm now I'm very I have a clear situation in my mind. In my mind is a journalistic mind. It's not a supporter mind, and so there are many things we will have to talk about in the next weeks. So today is important to meet with your community and start from the first thing I told you yesterday.
But yesterday you went big yesterday, huh? It was live on both platforms with a lot of people that were waiting for your words. It has already been reported on some sites. We can see it on Twitter, for example. Some people spoke about it on social media, on YouTube, etc., etc. But I really wanted to have your words because I want, what you said, which is really important. Yesterday, from Italian, I heard that you said, look, percentage of Giuntoli decreased and the ownership, so Exor, John Elkann, the ownership, they rejected Cristiano Giuntoli. Can you explain a bit what it means, rejecting Cristiano Giuntoli?
It's a final step. What I tried to explain yesterday is ownership took with all the evaluation of the season. The definitive decision is Giuntoli is not the right man for us. In the next chapter about Juventus things in the next days, and my job start from this situation. Okay, Giuntoli is probably going to break with Juventus, and this is the decision of the ownership. I use this 6% and I think this is exactly the right percentage. The right. There's no. If you tell me 7, I tell no 6.
6.46.
6 and 46 is the precise. Okay, but yeah, very.
For people that do not know Luca, 6.46, is it 100% that he will be gone? So there is no chance anymore because 6.46 is really low. Does that mean that Giuntoli is not there next season?
Yeah, I'm leaving my job from since yesterday, I'm leaving my job about Juventus, a journalistic job, working on Juventus structure without Cristiano Giuntoli. But 6 is not official. It's not. There are no communications, but I think we have to imagine a Juventus, a brand new Juventus. So, and what happened now? What happens? And it's not only the question is not it's right, but it's a good thing. It's better. Will be better. It's the decision we need. What's your answer about that?
My opinion.
Yeah.
Well, Cristiano Giuntoli, it's someone that I didn't want to judge in the first year because arriving extremely late, arriving alone, you need to discover what is happening behind the scenes, something that you cannot know when you are in another club. The time that you are working on your plan, we know that a player can have an impact from the first second he's stepping on the field. Remember Danilo entering after 30 seconds, he's scoring his first goal against Napoli. A sporting director, especially arriving late, cannot. So you need time. Of course, he's taking a big decision immediately. Yeah? I don't want to continue with Allegri. But of course, this one is the season where I start judging Cristiano
Yeah,
Giuntoli.
that means you understand this situation like a weird situation. It's too
Absolutely.
early, in your opinion, to
No,
have to judge Cristiano
no.
Giuntoli?
It
No.
was too early in the first season. Now we are in the second season. And if
Yeah,
you're looking at
but
second season,
you know many journalists, many persons, many supporter thinks, okay, but this was the first year.
no. The first year starts when he arrives. Even if you
All
can
right.
call it year zero, but you cannot really judge the work. Now we can judge because it's already second year at Juve. And in this year, what do we see? That today Juventus, with 3 games to play, for the very first time, actually, we are not sure to qualify to Champions League. One, the signings, expensive signings, they didn't perform. The timing of the arrival of some signings in the winter, because I'm really speaking about the winter, with a really known situation that we already had in the months of September, October, November, December, arrived really late. Then the fact that he goes for a project that is actually giving up immediately on Thiago Motta, it's something that today's make me think at the moment it's a failure. Then I don't know if Cristiano will be there, if he will do well or not. But at today, if we are judging season 24-25, which is the real first Cristiano Giuntoli season, taking a big risk in changing 12 plus 4, so 16 players,
Do you know
this is
why?
someone that
The
needs
big
to be
risk? Do you
accountable.
know why? Because if you make many decisions, you are going faster. Also in the judgment, if you take less decisions, you take more time. So that was a big risk. I agree with you. So I want to specify one thing important. All the thing all this big news is it doesn't depend on the final position. That's
Hmm.
the main thing and the surprising thing. I mean, what I heard, what I build with my job is it's not the 4th place, the 5th place. Don't think about that.
So
Oh,
you're telling today, regardless if Juve is fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh,
that's
Cristiano
that's
Giuntoli,
what that's what I heard. That's what I worked for, and that's what I obtained. That's not a matter of place, of
then
placement.
I will ask you the last question, a really fast one.
Yeah.
Without Cristiano Giuntoli, because that's the news, is it better for Juve to go in Champions League and already putting a lot of pressure on the new
Always
one
better to
or out?
I yeah, we have to go to the Champions League. It's better. It's always better. You have if you have to have a rebirth, There's no limits. There's no we can start again only if we don't play in the international tournaments. That's not it. We are Juventus. We have to go to the Champions League. That's our goal now. This is a mission, and if you don't qualify to Champions League, it's worst. It's not better.
We close with a small recap. Luca Momblano is working on some news. The news that he's reporting us is that indeed from last week to today there is a big collapse in the percentages of remaining Cristiano Giuntoli. Juventus ownership is already thinking about the future without Cristiano Giuntoli because they were not satisfied about the job that he delivered. Better to do it
3 years
with
more,
Champions League.
3 years more of contract. That's very, 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 very big news. It's a big story.
It's a big story. What does that mean? 3 more years of contract. That he stays at home 3 years, paid by Juve. That Juventus paid immediately.
We can talk about this in the next week. Okay.
Thank you, Luca. Ciao, Luca. Grazie.
Thank you, guys.
Maximum of like. Ciao.
Bye. Click.